They say Shawshank is the end of the line, a place where time forgets you, where the walls whisper that you'll never leave, never change, never be more than your worst mistake. But in the middle of that concrete nightmare walked a man in a suit with calm eyes and a quiet rage. His name was Andy Dufresne, a successful banker, a loyal husband, wrongfully convicted for a double murder he didn't commit. He never even got to say goodbye. They threw him into Shawshank prison, gave him 2 life sentences, and shut the door. Case closed. But that was the mistake, because when the world buried Andy Dufresne, they didn't know they were burying a seed. Andy didn't enter that prison as a hero. He entered lost, numb, shell-shocked. He barely spoke, didn't fight back, didn't beg for mercy. But what he didn't say out loud, he started planning in silence. From day one, Andy made a decision that most people miss in their darkest moments. If I can't control the world, I will control myself. He observed. He listened. He made no enemies. He waited, watched how the prison worked. And then, he found Red. Now Red. He was the man who could get things. Cigarettes, posters, harmonica, a lifeline to the outside world. And he didn't ask for a weapon. He didn't ask for protection. He asked for a rock hammer. And that's the first sign. Andy wasn't looking to survive Shawshank. He was already planning to leave it. Over the years, Andy carved out more than rocks. He carved out a purpose. While other prisoners gave up, he found ways to matter. He helped guards with taxes, used his financial skills to save them thousands. Suddenly, the guards protected him. Even the warden noticed. That's when the real game began. The warden gave him access to books, to paperwork, to the dark corners of Shawshank's financial system. Andy cooked the books, built a fake identity, created bank accounts no one could trace, and quietly, he planted the seeds of revenge. Now here's the genius. Andy never looked like a threat. He looked like a quiet man fixing papers in an office. But every single day, he was building an empire behind bars. And more importantly, he was giving back. He didn't just want to escape. He wanted to leave the place better than he found it. He started a library, taught prisoners how to read, wrote letters to the state for 6 years until they funded education programs. He made men believe in their minds again. And that's power. Because the most dangerous prisoner isn't the one with muscles. It's the one who remembers he's still a human being. Now, let's talk about hope. Hope is the heartbeat of this entire story. But in prison, hope is dangerous. Red, Andy's closest friend, said it himself. Hope is a dangerous thing. Hope can drive a man insane. But Andy answered with something deeper. Hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things. And no good thing ever dies. Let that sink in. And he saw hope not as a fantasy, but as fuel. He didn't cling to it. He built with it, letter by letter, book by book, brick by brick, even after the system tried to crush him. Because just when Andy was closest to freedom, when Tommy, a young inmate, revealed the real killer of Andy's wife, the prison retaliated. Tommy was murdered, and Andy was thrown into the hole, solitary confinement, for 2 months. Darkness, silence, isolation. But Andy didn't break. He said the music in his head kept him going. That some things inside you, they can't take away. And that's the lesson for all of us. Even when life locks you down, even when no one believes you, even when you've lost years to something that wasn't your fault, you still have your mind. You still have the ability to choose how you survive. Then one quiet night, Andy disappeared. No sound, no struggle, just gone. The guards tore apart his cell, but all they found was a rock hammer, a Bible, and a poster on the wall, until they ripped the poster down and found a tunnel. A tunnel Andy had dug over 19 years. Every single night, through stone, through dirt, through sewage. And in the middle of a lightning storm, he crawled 500 yards through the bowels of Shawshank. To freedom, to rain on his face, to the first breath of free air in 2 decades. He didn't run. He rose. But Andy didn't just escape. He exposed the corruption. He sent every document, every receipt, every record of fraud to the press. The warden tried to shoot his way out of judgment. But Andy? He walked away a free man, with a new identity, a bank account full of dirty money, and a beach in Zihuatanejo calling his name. That's not an escape. That's justice. Meanwhile, Red is still in Shawshank, paroled after 40 years. But he's not free. He's scared, lost, institutionalized. Because after 4 decades of following rules, it's hard to know what to do with freedom. Until one day, Red finds something buried under a tree. A box. A letter. From Andy, telling him to come find him. To believe in hope just one more time. To meet him in a little town on the Pacific coast. And Red takes the leap. The final scene isn't about escape. It's about redemption. 2 friends. Broken. Scarred. But finally free. Andy smiles. Red walks down the beach. No bars. No guards. Just peace. Just possibility. Now, you might be wondering, what does this story have to do with you? Everything. Because you got your own Shawshank. Maybe it's your job. Maybe it's your past. Maybe it's fear, doubt, depression, failure, addiction. Maybe you feel stuck, buried, forgotten. But here's what Andy Dufresne taught us. You don't have to escape in one day. You just have to chip away at the wall. Every day, a little more, even if no one sees it, even if they laugh, even if you're the only one who believes. Because freedom doesn't come from outside. It comes from the decision to never give up on the life you know is waiting for you. The Shawshank Redemption isn't about a prison break. It's about soul survival. It's about holding on to purpose, choosing faith over fear, deciding that you are not done, no matter how long it takes. Andy waited 19 years. But on year 20, he walked into the sun. And you can too. Because when the world buries you, maybe you're not being buried. Maybe you're being planted. So dig, even when it's dark, even when it stinks, even when no one claps. Because one day, you'll break through the other side. And when the rain hits your face, you'll know you were never trapped. You were just getting ready to fly. This is Intergalactic Guy. If this gave you chills, if it lit a fire in your soul, do something about it. Share it, rewatch it, and remember, get busy living or get busy dying. That's goddamn right.